My name is Rodrigo Garcia, and you're in Chicago, Illinois. My story began in Chicago, Illinois. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago, in a small community called Little Village, predominantly Mexican-American, until I was about 18. At that point, I decided to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. From that point on, I was traveling the world outside of Chicago. That's the reason that I joined the service, not only to serve my country, but to see where my life was going and make some sense out of it. From there, I went to the West Coast. I was in California. I went overseas to Japan. From there, I went to Afghanistan. I was over there for several months. I came back home for about a month, and then from there, went overseas for what is known today as Operation Iraqi Freedom. From there, I came home again back to the West Coast, was there for about a year, and then went overseas again to Operation Iraqi Freedom Part 2. In late 2005, early 2006, I got my discharge from the military, and I went back to school. And that was a pivotal point in my life, because that's when I decided that I kind of knew where my life was headed. I knew where everything was going from that point on. So that is when I identified the need, and that's when I started becoming active. I became active in student government. I became active in several community organizations. I became active in the Honor Society. I became active in my academic studies. I became active in helping other veterans come home and helping other student minorities, such whether they're African American or Hispanic or other traditionally underrepresented minorities. And that's when I began. I was able to finish my bachelor's in 2 years. I started January of 2006, and I graduated with my bachelor's in December of 2007. Thereon, I went on to do my master's education at the University of Illinois, Chicago. There I also took an active role in getting other minorities into the graduate school. I became involved in the National Society of Hispanic MBAs. I became involved in the Student Veterans of America. I became involved in the MBA Association. After about 14 months, I graduated just actually 2 weeks ago with my master's degree. Education in general, especially in today's economic landscape, we are able to see that those individuals that do not have an education are the ones who are struggling the most. One of the gateways to amount to even more opportunity than the common opportunity is education. It is the gateway to success. So education, in my viewpoint, is a gateway for your future. And unfortunately, education, the access to education is not firm, or it's not equal across all individuals. Some people have it harder because of economic issues. Some people have it harder because of social issues. Some people have it harder because of the community they stem from. Unfortunately, many of our veterans, when they come home, are sort of lost. Many want to go to school, but they don't know where to start. It is such a huge institution, whether it's the financial aid aspect, whether it's which classes to pick, whether it's the orientation, whether it's where to live, whether it's how you're going to pay how you're going to pay for your housing, for your food. What are you going to do with other people that haven't had the same life experiences as you? What about if you've been overseas? What happens if you experience certain things that might make it hard for you to adjust and to what if people start asking you questions that you don't know how to answer them? What do you do if you haven't gone to English class in the last 4 years or the last 8 years, or what if you haven't picked up a pencil and done math problems since you were in high school, or what about those living in campus housing next to an 18-year-old and you're 25 years old, and is there policies in each school that say whether you have to live in dormitories, or is there policies when it comes to having sufficient amount of handicap spaces for the amount of disabled veterans that are coming home, or the amount of or different policies when it comes to for the transfer of military credits for education, for some people for years of education that they've had. Are you going to make a person who's treated combat wounds come and take a first aid class? Whether they're from different ethnicities, whether they're from different backgrounds, or from different income levels, my mission is to help individuals to have equal access to education. Through the Student Veterans of America, it is an organization that started in January of 2008 with 20 groups from 20 veterans groups from around the nation, each at different universities. From around the country. They all came together, student veterans at different parts, and at each college campus decided that there was a need, and each came from around the country in January of 2008 and gathered here in Chicago, Illinois, and to what would be known today as Student Veterans of America, which has grown to about over 175 groups across the country, helping veterans on each campus. Also, the Student Veterans of America have provided resources and tools and the guidance to other groups to start across the country and in each university, and they began to know the need and started talking to each other and foster a network of communication. I've also been involved with the National Society of Hispanic MBAs, which its main mission is to increase graduate management education to Hispanic individuals. And I also work with the Adelante Scholarship Fund, which provides scholarships to Hispanic undergraduate, Hispanic business undergraduates, and provides them leadership training. Each day I will keep working each week and each month and each year to promote education. Not every individual, not every family is fortunate enough to have the access to all types of benefits that this great country provides us. My mission to make sure that they know what's out there, that they get the available help, and it's my mission to motivate them to get to an educational institution, and to reduce all barriers for any individual that has a dream of going to school. And we're able to educate more of this generation. We will become the great generation of the new millennium and lead this country into the 21st century and become an impact not of today but of tomorrow. The Marine Corps, it gave me and instilled a sense of honor. It gave me the courage and the commitment to make sure that I live every day to the fullest. And I live every day to the fullest by making sure that I'm making a difference in today's world, by making a difference in my community. When I went overseas, I was able to see, once everything was taken away from me, I was able to see that what was important to me and what mattered in life. And in my life, what mattered was to make a difference for the positive. And I did a lot of positive while I was in the Marine Corps, and I wanted to continue that. Just because I wasn't in the Marine Corps doesn't mean the Marine wasn't still there. And I wanted to make sure that I continue that sense of service. Instead of continuing my service to country, I was continuing my service to my community, and I continue that to this day. And I hope to continue that not into the future for years and years to come. And I hope that at one point I'm able to inspire one more person to continue a life of service, and if that continues, I know that I have fulfilled my mission in my lifetime.